In 1610, Galileo saw Saturn, but he didn't understand it. His telescope showed strange ears, not knowing they were icy rings that would puzzle humanity for centuries. Today we know those rings are vast, delicate, and possibly vanishing before our eyes, a cosmic masterpiece, fading in silence. Scientists think a lost moon or a celestial collision may have created them. But we still ask, why Saturn? Why not the others? If you stood beneath those radiant bands, would you feel awe or sorrow for what's slipping away? Let's explore the truth behind Saturn's vanishing crown. The enigmatic beauty of Saturn's rings. If you were standing on the surface of one of Saturn's moons, you'd see something that almost doesn't look real. Towering arcs of shimmering ice stretching across the sky like a celestial ribbon. For centuries, this sight has mystified stargazers and astronomers alike. Saturn's rings aren't just decoration, they're clues. Clues to a violent cosmic past, to the invisible forces that shape our universe, and to the kind of beauty that only space can sculpt. But what's wild is that when Galileo Galilei first saw them in 1610, he had no idea what he was looking at. His telescope was primitive, and to him, Saturn looked like it had ears. It wasn't until decades later that scientists realized these weren't ears or wings, but rings. Massive, flat rings made of something far more fragile than rock, ice. Not one single ring but thousands of tightly packed ringlets spanning hundreds of thousands of kilometers. They're wide enough to stretch nearly the distance from Earth to the Moon, but they're razor thin, barely 10 to 30 meters thick in most places. So, why do they exist at all? Why Saturn and not Jupiter or Uranus in the same way? That's where things get fascinating. Let's break it down. What Saturn's rings are really made of. Most people think Saturn's rings are solid, like a giant hula hoop floating in space, but that couldn't be further from the truth. These rings are made of billions, yes, billions of tiny particles, each orbiting Saturn independently. They range from microscopic dust grains to house-sized boulders, and they're mostly composed of water ice, which explains why they reflect sunlight so brilliantly. But here's the twist: they aren't pure ice. Hidden among the icy debris are specks of rocky material and organic compounds. That's right, some of the same carbon-rich molecules that may have played a role in forming life on Earth are found in Saturn's rings. Scientists think the difference in ring color, some being brighter, others darker, might be due to the varying amounts of this dusty contamination. And while they look smooth from afar, the rings are more like a cosmic traffic jam up close. These particles constantly collide, clump together, and break apart again. It's chaos, but organized chaos ruled by gravity. Every motion, every gap between rings is shaped by Saturn's moons tugging on the particles like invisible hands sculpting art. And that chaos may hold the key to how the rings even got there in the first place. How did Saturn's rings actually form? A moon torn apart. That's one of the most widely accepted theories behind the formation of Saturn's rings. Sounds brutal, right? And it was. Scientists believe that long ago, Saturn may have had a large icy moon that drifted too close, within the planet's Roche limit, a point where Saturn's tidal forces became stronger than the moon's own gravity. The result? The moon was literally shredded into pieces. But that's just one version of the story. Another theory is even more chaotic. What if two moons collided at high speed, turning into a spray of debris that spread around Saturn like a slow-motion explosion in space? Over time, gravity helped those icy fragments settle into the thin structured rings we see today. This theory is supported by how flat and disc-like the rings are, just like the aftermath of a spinning cosmic smash-up. Some scientists even think these rings could be the remnants of material that never formed into a moon at all, a frozen ghost moon that failed to become whole billions of years ago. But here's the catch. No matter the theory, one thing remains clear. The rings are a result of destruction. Something had to break, rip, or explode for them to exist. Saturn's beauty is born out of cosmic violence, and that makes it even more incredible. Are Saturn's rings old or surprisingly young? You might assume Saturn's rings have been around forever. After all, the planet itself is over 4.5 billion years old. But what if I told you that the rings might be younger than the dinosaurs? That's right. Some scientists now believe that Saturn's rings may have formed as recently as 100 million years ago, when T-Rex roamed Earth. That's practically yesterday on a cosmic timeline. How could something so massive be so young? It all comes down to their brightness. The rings are incredibly reflective, meaning they haven't been exposed to space dust and debris long enough to darken over billions of years. On the flip side, there's a competing theory that says we've just gotten lucky. Maybe the rings really are ancient, but their icy particles constantly recycle themselves, colliding, breaking down, and reforming, keeping them looking fresh and clean despite their age. Cassini's mission tried to settle the debate, measuring how much ring material is falling into Saturn's atmosphere. The data leaned toward a shorter lifespan. meaning we may be living in a rare moment in time when Saturn is dressed in her finest. Either way, the rings are temporary. Whether they're ancient or newborn, they won't last forever. We're witnessing a fleeting masterpiece, and most of the universe won't even get the chance. What NASA's Cassini mission uncovered about the rings. One spacecraft got closer to Saturn's rings than anything in human history, and it changed everything. NASA's Cassini mission, launched in 1997, didn't just orbit Saturn, it danced through its rings, it flew between them, and what it saw was astonishing. Cassini revealed that the rings aren't uniform at all. They're full of waves, literal ripples caused by gravitational tugs from Saturn's dozens of moons. These waves aren't just beautiful, they act like seismic maps. They help scientists understand Saturn's interior structure, the same way earthquakes help us understand Earth's core. Wild, right? And then there were the propellers, tiny gaps carved by moonlets no bigger than a city block. These baby moons move like little shepherds, pulling and pushing ring particles, leaving trails behind like ships through ice. It's a whole ecosystem of motion. Collisions, orbits, spirals, all governed by gravitational forces we can't see but Cassini could feel. What stunned scientists most was the sheer level of detail. They found sharp edges, sudden gaps, and braided structures like strands of hair woven by the cosmos itself. Saturn's rings aren't just pretty, they're alive with motion. Cassini didn't just observe them, it revealed a complex, dynamic system still evolving before our eyes. Will Saturn's rings eventually disappear? They look eternal, but Saturn's rings are fading. Right now, as you read this, those magnificent ice particles are falling, bit by bit, into the planet they orbit. It's called ring rain, and it's caused by Saturn's magnetic field, pulling charged particles from the rings down into its atmosphere. NASA estimates that each second, tons of ring material is being lost forever. Think about that, a structure hundreds of thousands of kilometers wide, vanishing grain by grain like sand in an hourglass. Scientists now believe the rings could be gone in as little as 100 to 300 million years. In cosmic time, that's a blink. And that means we are alive at one of the rare moments in history when Saturn even has rings this bright and massive. Most other planets don't get this kind of spotlight, we just happen to be born at the perfect time to see it. The rings are like fireworks on a galactic scale, stunning, fleeting, and impossible to ignore. One day future civilizations may only see Saturn as a plain gas giant. No icy crown, no shimmering halo, just a memory left in textbooks and telescopes. And that makes every glance at Saturn now feel a little more sacred. The role of Saturn's moons in shaping the rings. Saturn's moons play an incredibly crucial role in the creation, maintenance, and structure of its rings. These moons act as both sculptors and guardians of the rings, exerting gravitational forces that shape the particles within them. Saturn has over 80 moons, but many of them are especially important for the delicate dance of the planet's rings. Some moons, like Pan and Atlas, are small yet vital to the structure of Saturn's rings. They create gaps, or propellers, within the ring material, where the gravitational pull of the moon pushes particles into a tightly packed structure while leaving a gap in its wake. These gaps resemble the paths left behind by ships moving through ice, and they help maintain the ring's shape and distribution. The effect is not just visual, but also vital for the dynamic behavior of the ring system. On the other hand, moons like Mimas, Enceladus, and Dione have more indirect roles. They interact with the rings by generating gravitational waves, small fluctuations that ripple through the material, organizing it into neat, concentric bands. These waves influence the ring particles' movement and maintain their organized chaos. Through their gravitational interactions, Saturn's moons help to prevent the particles from scattering away into space, ensuring the rings stay intact over millions of years. Interestingly, the material in Saturn's rings is not static, it's in constant motion, constantly being tugged by the moons. This interaction is a prime example of how moons and rings coexist in a delicate balance, with each influencing the other. Without these moons, the rings would likely lack the fine structure and order they currently display. Rather than a simple floating collection of ice, Saturn's rings are a complex, gravitationally controlled system that relies heavily on the nearby moons to sustain its beauty and form. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through Saturn's mysterious rings. From icy debris to shattered moons, the secrets they hold are as vast as space itself. There's still so much we don't know, and that's what makes it thrilling. Every new discovery brings us one step closer to understanding the universe we call home. So, what do you think created Saturn's rings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a cosmic conversation. And if you love discovering the secret of the universe, don't forget to subscribe to Space Facts and hit the bell icon for more adventures. The June solstice is a cosmic event that shapes life on Earth in ways we often overlook. On this day, the sun reaches its highest or lowest point in the sky, creating the longest day in one hemisphere and the shortest in the other. Did you know that above the Arctic Circle, the sun can shine for 24 hours straight during this time? The June solstice isn't just about daylight, it's a powerful reminder of our planet's incredible dance with the sun. What is the June solstice? The June solstice is one of nature's most fascinating astronomical events, marking a pivotal moment in Earth's yearly journey around the sun. On this day, the sun reaches its highest or lowest point relative to the celestial equator, creating a dramatic shift in daylight hours. This event officially signals the start of summer in the northern hemisphere, and winter in the southern hemisphere. But what exactly causes this phenomenon? It all comes down to the tilt of our planet. Earth is not perfectly upright. Instead, it leans at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. This tilt means that as Earth orbits the sun, different parts of the planet receive varying amounts of sunlight at different times of the year. During the June solstice, the North Pole tilts toward the sun, allowing the northern hemisphere to bask in longer daylight hours. Meanwhile, the southern hemisphere experiences shorter days and longer nights. This celestial dance has been observed and celebrated by humans for thousands of years, influencing calendars, agriculture, and cultural rituals worldwide. The June solstice is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a reminder of the intricate relationship between our planet and the sun, shaping life in countless ways. Why does the length of day vary? The length of the day during the June solstice is not random but a direct result of Earth's axial tilt and its orbit around the sun. Because the planet is tilted at about 23.5 degrees, the angle at which sunlight strikes different regions changes throughout the year. This tilt causes the sun to appear higher or lower in the sky depending on the season. During the June solstice, the northern hemisphere leans toward the sun, which means sunlight travels a longer path across the sky, resulting in extended daylight hours. Conversely, the southern hemisphere tilts away, receiving less direct sunlight and experiencing shorter days. This variation in sunlight affects everything from weather patterns to ecosystems. For example, longer days in the north encourage plants to grow and animals to breed, while shorter days in the south signal the approach of winter. The changing length of days also influences human behavior and culture, with many societies marking the solstice as a time of celebration and reflection. Understanding why day length varies helps us appreciate the complex mechanics of our planet's movement and its profound impact on life. Longest day in the northern hemisphere. When the June solstice arrives, the northern hemisphere enjoys its longest day of the year, a phenomenon that has fascinated people for centuries. This happens because the North Pole tilts closest to the sun, allowing sunlight to flood the sky for an extended period. In some places above the Arctic Circle, the sun doesn't set at all, creating the famous midnight sun. This extra daylight means more time to enjoy outdoor activities, soak up vitamin D, and connect with nature. It also triggers biological changes in plants and animals, encouraging growth, reproduction, and migration. The long day brings energy and vibrancy to human cultures as well, inspiring festivals, ceremonies, and traditions that celebrate light and life. From ancient stone circles aligned with the solstice sun to modern-day gatherings, this day is a powerful reminder of the Earth's rhythms. The longest day isn't just about more sunlight, it's about the connection between our planet's tilt and the sun's path, shaping the seasons and influencing life in profound ways. So when you experience that extra hour of daylight, you're witnessing a cosmic event that has been happening for millions of years. Shortest day in the southern hemisphere. While the northern hemisphere basks in extended daylight, the southern hemisphere experiences its shortest day during the June solstice. This contrast occurs because the South Pole tilts away from the sun, casting longer shadows and bringing extended nighttime hours. For those living in places like Australia, South Africa, and parts of South America, the June solstice signals the onset of winter, with cooler temperatures and shorter days. The reduced sunlight affects ecosystems, slowing plant growth and prompting animals to prepare for colder months. People adjust their routines, often spending more time indoors and celebrating winter festivals. Despite the chill, the solstice holds cultural significance here too, marking a time of reflection, rest, and renewal. It's a reminder that while the Earth's tilt brings change, it also creates balance. One hemisphere's longest day is the other's shortest. This interplay between light and dark, warmth and cold, shapes the planet's diverse climates and lifestyles. Understanding the southern hemisphere's solstice experience helps us appreciate the global impact of this astronomical event and the shared connection we all have with the sun's journey. Cultural significance of the June solstice. The June solstice has inspired countless cultures around the world, each celebrating this celestial milestone in unique and meaningful ways. From ancient times, people have recognized the solstice as a powerful moment of transition and renewal. Many festivals honor the sun's life-giving energy, symbolizing growth, fertility, and hope. For example, in Scandinavia, midsummer festivals light bonfires to celebrate the longest day, while in Mexico, indigenous communities hold rituals to honor the sun god. These traditions often include music, dance, and communal gatherings, reflecting humanity's deep connection to the natural world. The solstice also influenced ancient architecture, with monuments like Stonehenge and Newgrange aligned precisely to capture the first rays of the solstice sun. This alignment shows how early civilizations tracked time and seasons, using the solstice as a calendar marker. Celebrating the June solstice today continues this legacy, reminding us to pause, appreciate the changing seasons, and reconnect with the rhythms of our planet. It's a moment to honor light, life, and the enduring bond between Earth and Sun that shapes our existence. How the solstice affects nature. The impact of the June solstice extends far beyond just longer or shorter days. It profoundly affects the natural world. In the northern hemisphere, the surge of sunlight triggers a burst of activity in plants and animals. Trees and flowers grow rapidly, taking advantage of the extended daylight to photosynthesize more efficiently. Many animals use this time to mate, raise their young, or migrate to more favorable environments. The solstice acts as a natural signal, guiding behaviors that ensure survival through the changing seasons. Meanwhile, in the southern hemisphere, the shorter days and reduced sunlight slow down growth and encourage animals to prepare for winter's challenges. These seasonal rhythms create a delicate balance in ecosystems, where every species responds to the sun's changing position. Understanding this connection highlights how the June solstice is not just an astronomical event, but a vital driver of life cycles on Earth. It's a reminder that our planet's tilt and orbit orchestrate a complex dance of light and dark, growth and rest, sustaining the diversity of life we see around us. Common myths and misconceptions. You know, a lot of people think the June solstice is the exact moment when the longest or shortest day happens, but honestly, the reality is a bit more fascinating and complex. The solstice, well, it actually marks the point when the sun reaches its highest or lowest position in the sky at noon, but the length of daylight changes gradually before and after this date. So, what that means is the longest day in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day in the southern hemisphere don't always fall exactly on the solstice itself. Instead, they usually occur within a few days on either side. This happens because of the way Earth's atmosphere bends sunlight, and also the planet's orbit isn't a perfect circle. It's just a little bit elliptical. These factors cause subtle shifts in sunrise and sunset times, creating a phenomenon called the solstice effect. Understanding this honestly helps debunk some common myths and really deepens our appreciation for the intricate dance between Earth and Sun. It's a good reminder that nature doesn't follow rigid rules but rather flows in cycles and rhythms that have fascinated humans for, well, thousands of years. So, the June solstice isn't just a single moment frozen in time. It's part of a beautiful, ongoing process that shapes our experience of day and night. Climate impact of the June solstice. The June solstice doesn't just influence Earth's daylight hours, it also plays a crucial role in shaping our planet's climate patterns. As the northern hemisphere tilts toward the sun, it absorbs more solar energy, warming the atmosphere and oceans. This increase in heat drives weather systems, creating the summer season with its characteristic warmth and storms. Meanwhile, the southern hemisphere cools down, entering winter. These shifts in temperature affect wind patterns, ocean currents, and even rainfall distribution around the globe. For example, monsoon seasons in Asia are closely tied to the solstice's timing, bringing vital rains that support agriculture and ecosystems. The solstice's impact extends beyond just light and dark. It orchestrates the complex climate rhythms that sustain life on Earth. Understanding this connection helps us appreciate how a single astronomical event can ripple through the environment, influencing everything from daily weather to long-term climate trends. It's a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between Earth's tilt, the sun's energy, and the dynamic systems that keep our planet habitable. Cultural and mythological significance. The June solstice has long been a profound source of inspiration for art, literature, and mythology across diverse cultures, highlighting humanity's enduring fascination with the sun's immense power and influence. Throughout history, many ancient stories and legends have portrayed the solstice as a magical time when gods and spirits are believed to roam the earth, or when the veil between the physical world and the spiritual realm becomes thinnest. In Greek mythology, for instance, the solstice was closely associated with Apollo, the god of light, music, and prophecy, symbolizing illumination and divine insight. Similarly, Native American tribes traditionally held vibrant ceremonies to honor the sun's life-giving energy, using rhythmic dance, soulful song, and communal gatherings to celebrate the turning of the seasons and express gratitude for nature's cycles. Even in modern times, the solstice continues to inspire artists, poets, and writers who draw upon its rich symbolism to explore themes of transformation, renewal, hope, and the eternal dance between light and darkness. The solstice represents more than just an astronomical event. It serves as a powerful metaphor for change and rebirth, reminding us of our deep-rooted connection to the cosmos and the natural world. This unique moment in the year is where science and spirituality intersect, inviting wonder, reflection, and a sense of unity with the universe. Modern technology and the June solstice. Technology today allows us to observe the June solstice with incredible precision and detail, revealing new insights into this ancient event. Satellites orbiting Earth capture stunning images of sunlight patterns, while sophisticated instruments measure the sun's exact position and intensity. These tools help scientists track changes in Earth's tilt and orbit, improving climate models and our understanding of seasonal shifts. Additionally, digital apps and websites provide real-time solstice data, making it accessible to anyone curious about the sun's journey. This fusion of ancient knowledge and modern technology enriches our appreciation of the solstice, connecting us to a tradition that spans millennia. It also highlights how science continues to evolve, uncovering the subtle complexities of Earth's relationship with the sun. Whether you're a casual observer or a space enthusiast, technology invites you to witness the solstice in new ways, deepening your connection to the rhythms that govern life on our planet. Thanks for exploring the wonders of the June solstice with Space Facts. If you enjoyed this journey through Earth's cosmic dance, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon, so you never miss an update on our amazing universe. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below sharing how the solstice affects your part of the world or any cool facts you know. Your support helps us bring more mind-blowing space content right to you. Stay curious, and see you in the next video. Mercury vanishes from our skies for months at a time, then suddenly reappears as a brilliant evening star that ancient civilizations called the messenger of the gods. This tiny world completes an entire orbit around the sun in just 88 days, faster than any other planet in our solar system. But here's what blows my mind. Mercury can appear up to 28 degrees away from the sun during maximum eastern separation, yet most people will never see it once in their entire lifetime. Did you know that Mercury is actually easier to spot than most stars when you know exactly when and where to look? What is eastern separation? You're looking up at the night sky, and there's Mercury. But wait, how is that even possible when everyone says it's impossible to see? That's where eastern separation comes into play, and it's absolutely fascinating. When we talk about eastern separation, we're describing the angular distance between Mercury and the sun as seen from Earth. Think of it like this. The sun is your reference point, and Mercury appears to separate or move away from it in the eastern direction of the sky. This separation is measured in degrees, just like how you'd measure angles in geometry class. The maximum eastern separation is when Mercury reaches its greatest angular distance from the sun while positioned to the east of it. During this time, Mercury becomes visible in the evening sky right after sunset, appearing as a bright star-like object low on the western horizon. This phenomenon happens because Mercury's orbit is inside Earth's orbit, so from our perspective it appears to swing back and forth on either side of the sun, like a pendulum. Eastern separation specifically means Mercury is trailing behind the sun in its apparent motion across our sky. The beauty of maximum eastern separation is that it gives us the best opportunity to spot this elusive planet with our naked eyes. Without this separation, Mercury would be lost in the sun's glare, making observation completely impossible for amateur stargazers. Why Mercury is special. You've probably tried spotting Mercury before and failed miserably, right? Don't worry, you're not alone. Mercury is hands down the most challenging planet to observe, and there's a perfectly good reason why astronomers have been frustrated with this little world for centuries. Mercury sits closest to the sun in our solar system, which creates a unique problem that no other planet faces. While Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn can appear anywhere in our night sky throughout the year, Mercury is essentially chained to the sun's vicinity. This proximity means Mercury never strays far from the solar glare that dominates our daytime sky. What makes Mercury truly special is its incredibly fast orbit. It completes one trip around the sun in just 88 Earth days, which is why the Romans named it after their speedy messenger god. This rapid orbital motion creates a cosmic dance where Mercury alternately appears on the eastern and western sides of the Sun in quick succession. Unlike the outer planets that can be visible all night long, Mercury only gets brief windows of visibility during twilight hours. The planet's small size compounds the challenge. It's barely larger than our moon, making it appear as just a tiny dot even when conditions are perfect. This combination of proximity to the Sun, rapid orbital motion, and small size creates the perfect storm of observational difficulty that has made Mercury the holy grail for amateur astronomers worldwide. Maximum eastern separation defined. You know how Mercury usually hides in the Sun's glare? Well, maximum eastern separation is the exact moment when Mercury says, "Not today," and reaches its greatest possible distance from the Sun as seen from Earth. This isn't just some random astronomical event. It's a precisely calculated phenomenon that occurs when Mercury reaches approximately 18 to 28 degrees of angular separation from the Sun, depending on where Mercury is in its elliptical orbit. During this peak separation, Mercury appears furthest to the east of the Sun in our evening sky, which translates to the best possible viewing conditions you'll get for this elusive planet. The term maximum is crucial here because Mercury's separation from the Sun constantly changes as it orbits, swinging like a cosmic pendulum from maximum eastern separation to maximum western separation and back again. When astronomers say maximum eastern separation, they're pinpointing the exact day and time when this angular distance peaks before Mercury begins its journey back toward the Sun. This moment typically lasts only a few days, making it a fleeting opportunity that serious stargazers mark on their calendars months in advance. The beauty of this definition lies in its precision. It's not just when Mercury is visible, but rather the optimal moment when Mercury achieves its greatest possible visibility in the evening sky. Understanding this technical definition helps you appreciate why timing is everything when hunting for Mercury in the twilight hours. When this occurs. You're probably wondering when you can actually catch Mercury in action. And here's the fascinating part. Mercury's maximum eastern separations follow a predictable rhythm that repeats roughly every 116 days. This means you get approximately 3 opportunities per year to witness this celestial event, though the exact timing shifts slightly each year due to orbital mechanics. The separations don't happen randomly throughout the year. They cluster around specific months, typically occurring in late winter, late spring, and early fall for most observers in the northern hemisphere. What's really cool is that Mercury alternates between eastern and western separations, so if you miss an eastern separation in March, you might catch a western separation in May, then another eastern separation in August. The exact dates vary from year to year, but astronomers can predict these events decades in advance with incredible precision. Each maximum eastern separation event lasts about a week, with the peak occurring on one specific day when Mercury reaches its furthest angular distance from the Sun. However, Mercury remains reasonably visible for several days before and after this peak, giving you a practical viewing window of roughly 10 to 14 days. The timing also depends on your geographic location. Observers at different latitudes will experience slightly different optimal viewing periods. Southern Hemisphere observers get completely different seasonal patterns, with their best eastern separations occurring during opposite months compared to northern observers, making Mercury truly a global phenomenon with local variations. Best viewing conditions. You want to see Mercury? Then you need to become obsessed with timing, location, and atmospheric conditions, because Mercury doesn't forgive amateur mistakes. The absolute best time to hunt for Mercury during maximum eastern separation is during evening twilight, specifically 30 to 45 minutes after sunset, when the sky has darkened enough to reveal faint objects, but isn't completely black yet. This narrow window is non-negotiable because if you wait too long, Mercury will set below the horizon along with the fading twilight. Your viewing location matters enormously. You need an unobstructed western horizon, which means no buildings, trees, or mountains blocking your view in the direction where the sun just set. Urban light pollution can kill your chances, so, if possible, drive to a darker location away from city lights, where the contrast between Mercury and the sky background becomes more pronounced. Weather conditions can make or break your observation session. You need clear skies with minimal atmospheric turbulence, which means avoiding nights with high humidity, haze, or strong winds that cause excessive twinkling. The best atmospheric conditions occur during stable weather patterns, often a day or two after a cold front passes through your area. Seasonal timing also plays a role. Some maximum eastern separations occur when Mercury appears higher above the horizon than others, depending on the angle of the ecliptic relative to your local horizon. Spring separations are typically best for northern hemisphere observers, while fall separations favor southern hemisphere viewers. How to spot Mercury. You need to master the art of systematic sky scanning because Mercury won't announce itself with flashing lights. Start by finding where the sun set on the western horizon. That's your reference point for everything that follows. Mercury will appear somewhere along the ecliptic, which is the imaginary line that the sun, moon, and planets follow across our sky. During maximum eastern separation, look for Mercury roughly 15 to 25 degrees to the left of where the sun disappeared, depending on the specific separation angle. Here's the key trick most people miss. Mercury looks like a bright, steady star that doesn't twinkle as much as real stars do. It typically appears as a yellowish or orange-colored point of light, brighter than most stars but not as brilliant as Venus. The best strategy is to scan systematically from the sunset point leftward along the horizon, looking for any star-like object that seems out of place or brighter than expected. Mercury stays relatively low to the horizon, usually appearing no higher than the width of your fist held at arm's length above the western horizon. Don't expect Mercury to be obvious. It often appears dimmer than you'd anticipate, especially if atmospheric conditions aren't perfect. Use nearby bright stars or planets as reference points to help guide your search. If you spot what you think is Mercury, watch it for several minutes. Planets appear steadier than stars, which tend to twinkle more noticeably. The planet will also set relatively quickly, disappearing below the horizon within an hour or two of sunset. Equipment needed. So you can absolutely spot Mercury during maximum eastern separation with nothing more than your naked eyes. No telescope, no binoculars, no fancy gadgets required. This might, actually surprise you because Mercury has a reputation for being impossible to see, but during optimal separations, it appears bright enough to be visible without any optical aid whatsoever. However, binoculars can be your secret weapon for making the hunt much easier, especially 7x50 or 10x50 models that gather more light and provide a wider field of view. Binoculars really help you scan the twilight sky more efficiently and can reveal Mercury even when atmospheric conditions aren't perfect. They also make Mercury appear noticeably brighter and easier to distinguish from background stars. Now, a telescope isn't necessary for simply spotting Mercury, but if you want to see it as more than just a point of light, even a small telescope will reveal Mercury's phases. Kind of like how the moon changes shape throughout its cycle. For photography enthusiasts, a camera with manual settings and a sturdy tripod becomes essential equipment, along with a telephoto lens to capture Mercury's tiny disk against the twilight sky. One piece of equipment that's absolutely crucial, regardless of your approach, is a reliable star chart or astronomy app on your smartphone. These help you know exactly where to look and confirm you're actually seeing Mercury rather than a bright star. And honestly, the most important equipment is actually your patience and persistence, because Mercury observation requires multiple attempts and perfect timing to master successfully. Duration of visibility. You get roughly 10 to 14 days of reasonable viewing opportunities centered around Mercury's maximum eastern separation, but here's the catch. Mercury isn't equally visible throughout this entire period. The peak visibility occurs on the exact day of maximum separation, when Mercury reaches its greatest angular distance from the Sun and appears highest above the western horizon during evening twilight. On this optimal night, Mercury might remain visible for up to 90 minutes after sunset under perfect conditions, though typically, you'll have about 60 minutes of good viewing time before it sets below the horizon. As you move away from the peak date, Mercury's visibility window shrinks rapidly. Just 3 days before or after maximum separation, your viewing time might drop to only 30 to 45 minutes after sunset. The viewing window continues to compress as Mercury begins its orbital journey back toward the Sun, eventually becoming impossible to spot as it gets swallowed by solar glare. What makes this timeline tricky is that atmospheric conditions, your geographic location, and seasonal factors all influence how long Mercury remains visible each night. Northern observers during spring separations might enjoy slightly longer viewing windows, while observers at southern latitudes during winter separations face much shorter opportunities. The key insight is that Mercury's visibility follows a bell curve pattern. It gradually becomes easier to spot as maximum separation approaches, peaks for just a few days, then rapidly becomes more challenging until it disappears entirely. This compressed timeline means you can't procrastinate when Mercury becomes visible. Common viewing mistakes. You're probably sabotaging your own Mercury observations without even realizing it, and these mistakes cost countless stargazers their chance to spot this elusive planet. The biggest blunder is looking too early after sunset. Many people start scanning the sky immediately when the sun disappears, but Mercury won't be visible until at least 30 minutes later when twilight deepens enough to provide sufficient contrast. Another fatal error is searching too high in the sky. Mercury during eastern separation stays remarkably low, typically appearing no more than 8 to 21 degrees above the horizon, which is roughly the width of 2 fists held at arm's length. People also make the mistake of expecting Mercury to look like a bright, obvious planet when it actually appears as a modest, star-like point that's easily overlooked if you're not scanning systematically. Timing your observation session wrong kills more attempts than bad weather. Mercury's visibility window shrinks rapidly as you move away from the peak elongation date, yet many observers try weeks before or after maximum separation when Mercury has already become too faint or too close to the Sun. Geographic confusion ruins observations too. Northern Hemisphere observers often attempt to spot Mercury during autumn elongations when the ecliptic angle makes it nearly impossible, while the same elongation would be spectacular from the Southern Hemisphere. Don't confuse Mercury with bright stars or aircraft. Mercury appears steadier than twinkling stars and moves much slower than planes. Finally, the most expensive mistake is giving up after one failed attempt instead of trying multiple nights around the elongation peak. Photography tips. You can absolutely photograph Mercury during maximum eastern separation, but success depends on mastering timing, equipment setup, and post-processing techniques that most amateur photographers overlook completely. The golden rule for Mercury photography is shooting during the optimal twilight window. Start capturing images 30 to 45 minutes after sunset, when the sky has darkened enough to provide contrast, but Mercury hasn't set yet. Your camera setup becomes critical here. Mount your camera on a sturdy tripod with a ball head to eliminate vibrations, and use the longest focal length possible, ideally 200mm to 600mm or more, to make Mercury appear larger than a tiny dot. Manual camera settings work best. Shoot in RAW format, use a relatively small aperture like f8 for sharpness, keep ISO low at 100 to 200, and adjust shutter speed based on your light meter readings. The focusing technique separates successful shots from failures. Turn on live view, zoom in on Mercury digitally, and focus directly on the planet's edge until it appears tack sharp. Use manual white balance starting around 5500 Kelvin and adjust based on the color temperature you're seeing through your viewfinder. Take multiple bracketed exposures since Mercury's brightness can be tricky to nail perfectly on the first shot. Post-processing becomes essential because Mercury often appears too dim and small in the original images. Enhance visibility through careful brightness and contrast adjustments in software like Photoshop. The key insight most photographers miss is that Mercury photography requires patience and multiple attempts across several nights around maximum separation, since atmospheric conditions and timing must align perfectly for success. That's Mercury's maximum eastern separation decoded. You now know exactly when and how to spot the solar system's most elusive planet during its brief evening appearances. Mercury won't wait for you. These viewing windows happen only 3 times per year and last just days. If this cosmic knowledge sparked your curiosity about our incredible universe, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss another Space Facts revelation. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever successfully spotted Mercury, or will this be your first attempt? Until next time, keep looking up and exploring the wonders above us. The July buck moon has fascinated humans for centuries, not just for its stunning glow, but for its deep connection to nature's cycles. Did you know this full moon is named after the time when male deer begin growing their antlers, covered in soft velvet? It's a powerful reminder of growth and renewal under the summer sky. The buck moon isn't just light in the night, it's nature's signal. Are you familiar with this intriguing lunar fact? What is the buck moon? The July buck moon isn't just another full moon lighting up the night sky, it carries a story rooted deep in nature and tradition. This moon gets its name from the time of year when male deer or bucks start growing their new antlers covered in soft velvet. It's a signal that summer is in full swing and nature is buzzing with life. The name itself comes from Native American and colonial American folklore, where each full moon was given a unique title to mark the changing seasons. The buck moon, appearing in July, was a way to track time and the cycles of wildlife. Unlike other moons with more mysterious or poetic names, the buck moon is a straightforward nod to the natural world and its rhythms. It's fascinating how this lunar event connects us to the environment, reminding us of the delicate balance between the moon's phases and animal behavior. For many, the buck moon is more than just a celestial event. It's a moment to pause and appreciate the changing seasons and the life cycles happening all around us. So next time you look up and see that glowing orb in July, remember it's not just light in the sky, but a symbol of growth, renewal, and the timeless dance between Earth and the cosmos. What's your favorite thing about the buck moon? Let me know. Timing and occurrence. Every year as July rolls around, the night sky treats us to a spectacular show, the buck moon. But when exactly does this lunar event happen? The buck moon usually appears in mid to late July, marking the fourth full moon of the year. Its timing isn't random. It's closely tied to the lunar calendar, which follows the moon's phases from new to full and back again. This means the buck moon can fall on different dates each year, but it always shines brightest during July, illuminating summer nights with a soft, silvery glow. For skywatchers, this is the perfect opportunity to pause and connect with the natural rhythms of the Earth and Moon. Unlike the fixed dates of our calendar months, the lunar cycle is about 29.5 days, so the buck moon's arrival shifts slightly each year, keeping things exciting for astronomers and casual observers alike. This shifting schedule also means that sometimes the buck moon aligns with other celestial events, like meteor showers or eclipses, creating unforgettable nights in the sky. Knowing when to expect the buck moon helps people plan their outdoor adventures, photography sessions, or even cultural celebrations that honor this luminous moment. So if you want to catch the next buck moon, keep an eye on the calendar and the sky. It's a reminder that nature's clock is always ticking, inviting us to witness its timeless dance. Have you ever marked your calendar for a full moon? Share your story. Cultural significance. The buck moon isn't just a name plucked from thin air. It carries deep cultural meaning that spans continents and centuries. For many Native American tribes, each full moon had a special name that reflected the natural world and seasonal changes, and the July buck moon was no exception. It signified the time when bucks began to grow their new antlers, a powerful symbol of renewal and strength. But beyond the deer, this moon marked a period of abundance and growth, signaling hunters and farmers about the rhythms of the land. In some cultures, the buck moon was also called the thunder moon because July often brings summer storms that roar across the sky. Around the world, people have celebrated this moon with rituals, stories, and gatherings that honor nature's cycles. Even today, many communities hold festivals or simply take time to appreciate the glowing orb that lights up the summer night. This cultural richness adds layers of meaning to the buck moon, connecting us to traditions that remind us how humans have long looked to the sky for guidance and inspiration. It's fascinating to think that when you watch the buck moon rise, you're sharing a moment with countless generations who found wonder and wisdom in its light. What cultural stories or traditions have you heard about the full moon? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Connection to nature. The July buck moon is more than just a name tied to deer. It's a vivid reminder of nature's incredible timing. During this time of year, male deer or bucks begin growing their new antlers, which start out soft and covered in velvet. This velvet is actually a living skin full of blood vessels that help the antlers develop quickly. It's a fascinating natural process that aligns perfectly with the full moon's appearance in July, making the buck moon a symbol of growth and renewal in the animal kingdom. But it's not just deer that respond to this lunar phase. Many plants and animals follow seasonal cues linked to the moon's cycle. The buck moon acts like a natural calendar, signaling changes in behavior and growth patterns across the ecosystem. This connection between the moon and wildlife reminds us how closely life on Earth is tied to celestial rhythms. When you look up at the glowing buck moon, you're witnessing a cosmic event that influences more than just the tides. It's a beacon for life itself, guiding the cycles of growth and change. Have you noticed how nature seems to shift during full moons? Share your experiences below. Astronomical details. The buck moon isn't just a beautiful sight. It's a fascinating astronomical event with unique characteristics that make it stand out. Unlike other full moons, the buck moon often appears larger and brighter in the sky because it happens during the height of summer when the Earth is closer to the sun. This means the moon reflects more sunlight, giving it a warm, golden glow that can light up even the darkest nights. Astronomers note that the buck moon is part of a larger lunar cycle that influences everything from tides to animal behavior. Its brightness and position in the sky make it one of the easiest full moons to observe, even from urban areas with light pollution. Plus, because it's the fourth full moon of the year, it plays a key role in marking seasonal transitions. The moon's phases during this time also affect how we experience the night. Whether it's the perfect backdrop for a summer gathering or a quiet moment of reflection. So when you see that glowing orb rising in July, remember it's not just a pretty face in the sky, it's a powerful celestial body with a story written in light and time. Have you ever noticed how the full moon changes throughout the year? What's your favorite lunar moment? Let me know below. The buck moon and weather. The buck moon doesn't just light up the night, it often brings with it the rumble and flash of summer thunderstorms. July is known for its warm, humid days that build up into powerful storms, and many cultures have nicknamed this full moon the thunder moon because of those booming sounds in the distance. These summer storms aren't just dramatic weather shows, they play an important role in refreshing the earth, nourishing crops, and maintaining the balance of ecosystems. The timing of the buck moon with these seasonal weather patterns creates a natural rhythm, linking the celestial with the terrestrial. As the moon rises, it often signals a time of change in the atmosphere, reminding us of the dynamic forces at work both in the sky and on the ground. This connection between the moon and weather has fascinated people for centuries, inspiring stories and traditions that honor the power of nature. So when you see the glowing buck moon hanging low in the July sky, listen closely. You might just hear the distant roll of thunder, a perfect soundtrack to this luminous summer spectacle. Have you ever noticed how the moon seems to predict or accompany weather changes? Share your thoughts. Historical traditions. The buck moon carries with it a treasure trove of stories and legends that have been passed down through generations. Across different cultures, this full moon inspired myths that explain its glow and significance. Some Native American tribes believe the buck moon was a time when spirits of the forest were especially close, guiding hunters and protecting wildlife. In European folklore, the full moon in July was sometimes linked to magical happenings, where the veil between worlds was thin and anything seemed possible. These tales often highlight the moon's mysterious power to influence not just nature, but human emotions and fortunes. Even today, people share stories about how the buck moon brings clarity, inspiration, or a sense of calm. These historical traditions remind us that the moon has always been more than just a celestial body. It's a symbol woven into the fabric of human culture. When you watch the buck moon rise, you're connecting with centuries of storytelling, where the moonlight sparked imagination and wonder. So what's the most fascinating moon myth or legend you've heard? I'd love to hear your favorite. How to observe the buck moon. The buck moon isn't just a beautiful sight to behold, it's also a perfect excuse to get outside and experience nature in a whole new way. Whether you're an avid stargazer, a casual night walker, or someone looking for a peaceful moment under the sky, the buck moon offers a unique opportunity. The best time to observe this moon is right at moonrise or just before dawn when the sky is darkest, and the moon's glow is at its most striking. Grab a pair of binoculars or a telescope if you have one, but even with the naked eye, the buck moon's brightness and size make it hard to miss. Photographers especially love this full moon because its warm, golden light creates stunning images that capture the essence of summer nights. If you want to make the experience even more special, try combining moon watching with other activities like a nighttime picnic, a quiet meditation, or simply sharing stories with friends around a campfire. The buck moon invites us to slow down and reconnect with the natural world, reminding us that even in our busy lives there's magic waiting to be found in the night sky. When was the last time you stopped to watch the moon? What's your favorite way to enjoy it? Share your thoughts below. Buck moon in popular culture. The buck moon has quietly inspired artists, writers, and musicians for centuries, weaving its way into popular culture in fascinating ways. From classic paintings that capture its glowing presence over serene landscapes to poems that celebrate its symbolism of growth and renewal, This full moon has sparked creativity across generations. Musicians have even used the buck moon as a metaphor for change, mystery, and the passage of time in their lyrics, giving it a timeless place in storytelling. Movies and TV shows occasionally feature the buck moon to set a mood, whether it's romance under its warm light or suspense in its eerie glow. This cultural footprint shows how the moon's influence stretches far beyond science and nature, touching our emotions and imaginations. The buck moon becomes a shared experience, a symbol that connects us through art and media, reminding us that the night sky is a canvas for human expression. Next time you see the buck moon shining brightly, think about how many stories, songs, and artworks it has inspired, and maybe even create your own. What's your favorite artistic or cultural reference to the moon? Drop a comment below. Upcoming buck moon dates. The next few years promise exciting opportunities to witness the buck moon in all its glory. Since the buck moon is tied to the lunar cycle, its exact date shifts slightly each year, usually falling somewhere in July. For example, in 2025, the buck moon will grace the sky on July 24th, offering a perfect chance to catch its warm, golden glow. Marking your calendar for these dates means you won't miss out on this stunning summer spectacle. Some years, the buck moon aligns with other celestial events like meteor showers or lunar eclipses, creating unforgettable nights for skywatchers. Communities and astronomy groups often organize special events, from guided moonlit hikes to photography workshops, making it easier and more fun to experience the buck moon with others. Whether you're a seasoned astronomer or simply someone who loves a beautiful night sky, knowing when the buck moon will appear helps you plan your perfect moon-gazing moment. So, keep an eye out for announcements, and get ready to enjoy one of nature's most enchanting shows. When's your next moon-watching plan? Share it with us. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the fascinating world of the July buck moon. If you enjoyed uncovering these space facts, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss an update from Space Facts. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and tell us what surprised you the most or what moon mysteries you want us to explore next. Your support helps us bring more amazing cosmic stories right to your screen. See you in the next video.